friends, welcome back. This is Stacy D and the Yeti, and today we want to talk a bit about how to plan to have a family.
How to plan to have a family. Do you plan to have a family?
I planned on a family. I really wanted to be a wife and a mom when I grew up. I don't know about you. I don't know what your life goals were.
My life goals were only to be a husband and a dad.
Nailed it.
I figure everything else that I was going to do in my life was just going to be, it didn't matter. Like, I didn't need to do anything. I didn't need to have a certain job or a certain career. I just knew that whatever it was going to take care of my wife and kids.
So here we are, 17 years later, and I don't remember how many kids do we have?
Three.
They're a bit older now. They're not the tiny little tots. In fact, our oldest, if this is your first time watching, he does all of our editing and all of our camera structures, and he helps us get all set up. He's amazing. So that's very exciting for us to have our family included, because we don't put our kids behind this or in front of the screen, but they work behind the screen.
So it was kind of funny when we first got married. I mean, we were just little babies. We were 20. And so we were just wee babs ourselves. And we found out on her 21st birthday that she was pregnant. I thought that was just fantastic. Over the moon kind of crap. Is that a saying still? Over the moon, excited to the moon and back. All that kind of
stuff.
Insert your excited, whatever it is here, man. But I'm telling you, it was just the best thing ever, because we were going to be parents. We didn't know anything about it, because there's something that we have learned is that you can't plan for it. You don't know how to plan for it. You don't know how to afford kids, because kids are their own thing. It's like learning how to, pay for a house when you don't own a house. Like, you're just trying to play budget until it really kicks in.
Right, because there's a lot of unexpected things that happen after you own a house, and we've owned a couple. And, things break, but sometimes things don't break. Sometimes you have a really good year and nothing happens, and sometimes you have a year where everything happens. But there's no real safe way to plan. And I love that a lot of people like to plan out things, and they say, okay, well, I would like to be ready. I'd like to have this. I'd like to have that. And the thing is that the only thing you can plan on is that if you're still alive, you're only going to get older, and you're only going to be more tired. And it's only going to be harder, I believe, the older you get, to start out with little tiny babies. Now, I'm not discouraging anyone. Follow your heart. Do what's best for you.
Get nuts. But we're too old for that,
But
we talk about that now. We have friends. I mean, I'm going to be, in less than a month, I'm going to be 38. And we have friends that are just now having babies. And I'm like, bro.
Whoa.
I know. It's like we're going into those sweetheart years where our kids are pretty much self-contained, and we can sleep and relax. And I don't know if we'd have the energy for the little kids, but the whole idea about planning for kids, you never really know how to plan. So to go back, surely we digress, right? Back to the idea of, the same thing about learning how to budget for a house or budget for a kid. You don't even know how to budget for a kid, because you think, well, I'm just going to budget so many dollars for diapers. Well, did you tell the kid that? Because, you're like setting money aside, and you're like, bro, I'm sorry, sweet little baby, but you can only poop so many times this week because we're only buying this many packs of diapers.
Like, I see that you've had a couple blowouts, unexpected blowouts, but the budget doesn't call for those.
I know, those are like calamity blowouts. So you're like, how do you plan for that? So,
food. Suddenly they're eating constantly, and they're constantly hungry, and you're like, no.
Well, that's funny, because you never really know how to budget for that at all. I mean, the little kids, like the family planning in general, like, we had the one kid, and that was awesome. And we were going, and it was like 9 months later, boom, we found out we were pregnant with our next kid. And so we were like, well, okay. We just kept plugging along, because life was happening. We were buying houses and buying cars and changing jobs and working and stuff. And now we've got 2 kids, and we're like, hey, this is fantastic. 9 months, he's, 9 months old. Then boom, we're pregnant again. It's like, oh my gosh. And it was like, first off, you never asked the question, oh, how is this happening? Because you know good and well how this is happening, you know what I'm saying? And it just keeps going on past that. So then next thing you know, we've got 3 kids, and we're like, I was working nights, so she's like, I want a dog. So we have 3 kids. I mean, the one was born in the middle of winter. So by April, we go and pick out this dog. Turns out to be a Newfoundland who grows up to be 130 pounds. But there we have 3 kids that are 3 and under, and a small puppy.
That we're also potty training or housebreaking, however.
Housebreaking, but absolutely gluttons for punishment. So how do you plan for that? How do you plan for 3 kids? Period. How do you plan for them to eat? How do you plan for a dog? Throw that in the mix, And so as it goes, we just found that you can't plan any of it. You have your hopes and dreams, but it's kind of like Harry Potter. It's like how are we going to plan, Hermione? Because every time we do, all heck breaks loose. It's like because you don't know. And she was talking about food. The kids, they gradually started eating, but we were pretty strict on it. Like, our pediatrician said introduce veggies and then fruit, because if they get the fruit stuff, they're just going to want the sweets all the time. So we gave our kids, like, they have this huge palate now that they'll eat everything that we eat and some.
Right.
And they're advanced eaters. They're stage level experts now. And they've grown into eating everything and every bit of everything.
Right. I mean, at the time, we really didn't want them to be picky eaters because we didn't feel like they had enough life experience to be able to choose that they hated chicken the day after they ate a lot of chicken. So,
yeah,
we weren't huge fans of that. So we really worked with them to make sure that if they were going to take a stand and have opinions, it was going to be on something that wasn't food based. So
yeah, because food, I mean, if you're going to grow an identity, you're going to grow a character. We're all playing a character in this world. So if you're going to grow into that, you're not going to grow into a picky eater. Make your stand on something else,
Right.
And so now if you notice that I'm starting to waste away, it's because there's just not enough food to go around. That's not true, but they are eating friggin' everything.
They are, and I am really proud of them. They've turned out to be great human beings.
So what other aspects of having a baby? What the idea behind this video, what were you thinking? How to have a baby? We can't do that on film, how to have a baby.
No, that's inappropriate.
It's NSFW. And then
right.
What were you talking about, planning for a baby?
Yeah, basically the idea that all heck breaks loose. So you can have a good game plan, but it can't be the end all be all, because either you're going to miss out, which is really sad.
Yeah.
Waiting until the perfect moment, because there is no perfect moment to introduce chaos, which a baby is. Chaos.
That is for sure. Well, just that idea of like waiting for the perfect moment to have a kid. I mean, look at the state of the friggin' world. If you're going to have it, it's not getting any better until Jesus comes back. You know what I mean? But so it's like whatever's going on, it's going to still be going on, except you're going to be doing it with a baby. And the true part is like this is our world, this is our reality. Like we can create it however we want to. So people can have babies at whatever age, but there's no perfect time to have it. The perfect time to have it is when you and your partner are healthy. You know what I mean? When you're healthy and you can handle the physical toll of having the baby, to go through all of that and then, still be relatively able to function when the baby's born. Remember we were going back to the sleep thing. So there's a lot to it. And then babies are chaos. They're absolute chaos. They're agents of chaos. Babies are agents of chaos. Kids are agents of chaos. Like, I don't know. There's a kid in there. I can see him from here, and he's got a saw in his hand, and he's cutting wood. And I don't know exactly what that's going to be, but that's an agent of chaos.
Right. We have another one who randomly has a lot of emotion. It's a bit of chaos because you never know when that's going to hit.
Nope. Our youngest is we have 2 boys and a girl, and our youngest she's a pistol, man. She is a great, amazing person, and she has those emotions like everybody else, and so that's like a time bomb. Just like a ticking bottle of chaos that might affect your entire day because you don't know. You're like, how am I going to handle this? And you're like, freaking, I don't know.
Right, because you don't know what causes. Sometimes you don't know how to veer away from it. You don't know how to steer the direction of that ship, and you're just hoping that everyone survives the day. Even at this age, sometimes you still have those moments where you're just hoping everybody just makes it through.
Let's just make it through. Can we make it till bedtime? That we can remember that we love each other and that we're going to see each other tomorrow if we wake up.
Right. So I hope this video reaches everyone with happy hearts and encouragement. It's never ever to encourage people to do something they're uncomfortable doing or at a poor time in their life. Just a little reality check that even in times where we think that we can get it all together, before we bring in an amount of crazy.
And you've heard about our chaos. We told you about our chaos, and we're in a van, living that van life, and we're getting older, and we say that we're glad that our kids are older, but here's the trick of it. Would you have more kids right now?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So if God bless us with more kids, we take them, man. We've even talked about, whenever we settle off the road, I mean, there's kids that need love, maybe even, I don't know about fostering, but definitely adopting.
Absolutely. There are tons of kids out there that need love.
I'd like to correct that. I don't know about fostering because I'm a very passionate person. I'm not sure I can love and let go.
Right. That is clarifying. Yes.
I just want to clarify that,
Yeah.
but adopting, taking in, and caring for and loving. So
Absolutely.
So guys, we're Stacy and the Yeti. Make sure that you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Right. Check out our other videos and our stuff. We'll leave links, square end cards.
That's right.
To those somewhere on the screen. We'll figure that out.
We'll figure that out. So guys, live hard and make sure that you're loving even harder.